Hello, and welcome to the CDO Magazine interview series. I am Savio Rodrigues with Trianz, and we are partnering with CDO Magazine, MIT CDO IQ, and the International Society of Chief Data Officers in a series of interviews. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Phanii Pydimarri, Senior Director of AI and Analytics Products at Stanley Black Decker. Phanii is a data champion with a history of being a strong strategic asset and a driver of innovation and outcomes with multi-million-dollar revenue impacts. He plays a key role in enabling large-scale enterprise data infrastructure and platforms for driving a data-driven culture by using data engineering, data governance, data enablement, data quality, and data literacy techniques. It's very nice to speak with you, Phanii, today.
Thanks for having me, Savio. Definitely looking forward to sharing my perspective, opinions, and experiences here.
First, I'd like our listeners to hear a little more about your career journey. Before Black Decker, you were head of global data strategy and analytics at Bose. And before that, you were at Sabre and Dart. Can you talk about the career experiences and influences that led to your current leadership role?
Yeah, so my professional journey, I would say, looking back at it now, it's been definitely an intentionally interesting journey. What I mean by that is I try to keep it intentionally interesting by not being associated with one industry or one domain, for the fact that I'm a strong believer that data analytics can be industry agnostic and it can go horizontal across. But it all started with my passion for data and back in the day, SQL querying and databases technologies that actually was able to give such cool answers to the problems or questions that the businesses were looking for. But then we got into the business intelligence world, and I've been across different industries, consulting, working across different industries, different functions. And it got pretty interesting as the time flew by, right? As I started being a BI consultant, then got to do some architecture stuff, designing data models, data architecture designs for large scale companies, specific functions within them to solve some key business challenges. But for the last 10 years, I would say I've gotten into the leadership aspect of driving more strategic outlook and the roadmap and vision for companies, who are trying to consider and who are trying to benefit from data being a strategic asset and a driver for their business strategy, to really influence and drive the business strategy. But again, definitely one of the key things that I enjoyed the most over the years is really answering those key business questions that actually help companies drive those key performance indicators, get those executive leadership team members excited, get those board members excited about making those progress by moving the needle in the right direction.
Absolutely. And with the key performance indicators, setting that up and taking that in the right direction, digital transformation is one of the most ambiguous terms in the business world. Based on Trianz research, very few executives are confident that they know what digital transformation means, let alone how to implement it. Could you tell us why this is and how you're defining digital transformation in the context of your own work?
Yeah, so we all have been hearing digital transformation for the last 10, 15 years, and it's been more extensively and loosely used in the last 5 years or so. Digital transformation, I feel like, is getting confused by digitization, which are two different things. Most organizations are associating the term digital to the marketing leaders and marketing organizations, which is also another confusion that's out there. The way I read it is digital transformation is basically an organizational change driver that uses digital technologies and business models to improve the overall organizational performance. It could be anything within the organization. Whenever I think about an organizational strategy, I usually look at it as two branches. One is operational focused strategy. The other one is growth focused strategy. And we look at digital transformation as something that encompasses both these areas, both these branches of operationally improving the organization, as well as growth focused, then how the companies can really grow from where they are. And not just digital strategy or digital transformation strategy, even the data strategy tied along with digital strategies can actually drive those eventual outcomes for the organizations. And within my space, I try to make sure that we are more outcome driven. And by using our strategic asset of data and analytics, my approach of answering the question or having the business ask the question and answering them using data and analytics techniques has been a little dated now. It's more about problem statements and what would be the response to the problem statements. The solution could be anything. That could be a digital solution. It could be a data solution. It could be an analytic solution, or it could be a whole new product that you develop. But eventually, helping the organizations think from that perspective is what I've been focused on in the last five years.
Absolutely, and some amazing results that come with it. And with everything from data mesh to data lake houses, the term emerging technology has become a catch-all for the futuristic advances that will drive the next wave of innovation. However, there has been a disconnect between the grand promises of emerging technologies and their practical applications. As a chief data and digital officer, how do you strike a balance between promoting emerging technologies and setting realistic stakeholder expectations?
Yeah, so I would, again, going back to the problem, it all comes down to what the opportunity is within an organization. The way I look at using emerging technologies, or for that matter, anything traditional in the form of analytics, always comes down to what are the expected outcomes and what is the opportunity on hand. Again, pretty similar to digital transformation, emerging technologies has become the cool term, and organizations are really interested in investing in them. But when we talk about emerging technologies, we get reminded of edge computing, blockchain technologies, robotics, commercial autonomy, virtual reality, augmented reality, connected devices, AI, machine learning, etc. I mean, there's a lot more. And like you said, it's a catch-all term these days. But it always comes down to identifying where the organization is from a current state standpoint. And leaders like ourselves are really expected to identify the gap and really educate the organizational leadership in terms of where to invest and where not to invest. Emerging technologies are there out in the world, and there are lots of companies really driving their value as well as their business strategy using them. The first thing I would say is take a step back and look at the opportunity that you have within your organization and really identify how you segregate them between whether the opportunity is driving you a cost value. By that I mean is it actually helping you improve the bottom line of the company, or your customers, or you're expecting more revenue from these investments. Experience value is the emerging technology is really driving better experience to your customers, or a platform value. Again, you're able to bring in a platform that doesn't exist. Take the example of Uber, right? Uber has given a cost value saying, yeah, we're going to be cheaper than traditional taxis. Experience value is they're faster. We don't have to wait. We can control when we want a particular taxi. We don't have to worry about time, etc. And a platform that is seamless. You have it on your mobile device on a daily basis. It's so easy that you could, it gives you the comfort and luxury. So from an implementation of emerging technologies, the chief data officers or digital officers, chief technology officers matter, really have to spend significant amount of time doing the current state assessment, coming up with a maturity scale, maturity model in terms of where they really are and what is their North Star in terms of where they would really want to be. Are they really trying to provide cost value to their customers, experience value, or a platform that would completely change? And eventually invest and drive the overall organizational strategy is what I would say. I don't see that happening across the board. Like I said, there are definitely organizations really doing great things using emerging technologies. But also another biggest challenge for using emerging technologies is, again, the data and the lack of data sometimes, because whenever we talk about using artificial intelligence or so, there's significant amount of data that is required for the models to be trained so that you get more accurate models. And that's still being a challenge. So I would say there is a desire to get faster into the market, be the first ones to implement a particular technology and claim that, hey, I'm the first one within a particular industry to use robotics, is one thing, which is good. I like companies to be aspirational. I like leaders to be aspirational. But then is there a demand for it? Is there a need for it? Are you ready for it? Is what the due diligence that needs to be looked at.
I really appreciate the time you have given us today. And I'd like to thank my guest, Phanii Pydimarri, Senior Director, AI and Analytics, products at Stanley Black Decker. Thank you so much for your time, Phanii. Please visit CDO Magazine Tech for additional interviews.
Thank you. Pleasure is all mine.